Hello everyone! In today's video I will be showing you everything I can squeeze into this short YouTube video about STX system. It also coexists with STX token, which is very closely interconnected with Bitcoin. Finally, as always, I will be showing some price analysis in the charts. So if you enjoy this type of content, definitely subscribe to the channel because I'm doing this series on crypto and blockchain, and please smash the like button to help me to destroy the YouTube algorithm. Now let's start. So what STX actually is? They say it's a better internet built on Bitcoin because it makes Bitcoin programmable, enabling decentralized apps and smart contracts that inherit all of Bitcoin's powers. So STX is actually built on the Bitcoin blockchain, so not the Ethereum blockchain like ETH or the Cardano blockchain, but really the same blockchain as the Bitcoin itself uses for the transactions. On this platform of STX you can build apps and smart contracts. We will look into these in a second. Then also a very interesting feature in my opinion is earning Bitcoin by stacking. It's about locking your STX, which is the ticker for the STX token, temporarily to support the network security and consensus. So as a reward you will earn Bitcoin that miners transfer as a part of proof of transfer. Also as Ethereum, but Ethereum is now slowly moving away from the proof of transfer towards the proof of stake. And finally, down here you can see they have plenty of resources for developers or mining or stacking, etc. You can join the community and so on and so forth. But actually just above that we have explore stacks option. So here we can click on what is stack and get a bit of a better idea. So as with most of these systems, STX is an open source network of decentralized apps and smart contracts built on Bitcoin. They say it finally unleashes the Bitcoin's full potential as a programmable base layer. So that's really interesting because up until now it was pretty much just the Bitcoin itself running on the Bitcoin blockchain, and all those other altcoins are usually run on a different kind of blockchain, for example Ethereum or Cardano or many others. So here we have a little overview of what the apps built on the STX bring to the table. So they claim it's unstoppable because once deployed on the STX and settled on Bitcoin, the code can be taken down. So this is essential for critical internet infrastructure, which I agree with. That's pretty cool. Also, very interesting about data ownership, that decentralized apps don't store user data on centralized servers. Instead, the data is owned by the user and can be taken from app to app. So very difficult for anyone to get hold of those data. Also, they are open to anyone, so anyone with an internet connection can use or build stack apps because you don't need anyone's permission and you cannot be blocked from STX. It's also modular because these decentralized apps are open and connected by default. So this enables the developers to build on top of each other's apps and prevent users from getting locked in. It's also open for new business models because there is this tokenization. The developers can monetize their open source protocols and incentivize contribution and come up with business models that weren't possible before. They say they took the best of Bitcoin blockchain as they are as secure as Bitcoin transactions, and all the apps on STX can include Bitcoin-based logic. They also explain why is it built on top of Bitcoin. It's because Bitcoin has all the properties that decentralized apps and smart contracts need. So it's already there, the security, the settlement assurances, the capital and the network effects. So the one point with the capital is quite important because, as you know, Bitcoin is now hovering around the 1 trillion market cap. so there is plenty, the most of any coins on the market. Here they explain the Bitcoin settlement assurances, so a transaction is impossible to reverse or change once it has settled on Bitcoin. So as you may know, you can look at all these transactions on the blockchain to verify them, but you are not able to change them. So they also explain that the demand for use cases around Bitcoin is increasing, which I would agree on, but instead of competing with Bitcoin's underlying protocol, STX builds on and extends Bitcoin. And finally down here we can take a look at the technology. So the main points are the Clarity smart contracts, the STX blockchains, the proof of transfer mechanism, and also the Bitcoin itself. So they use the Bitcoin to settle transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain every block. So this makes all their transactions inherit Bitcoin's finality and settlement, because obviously they can be verified on the blockchain. So they are scaling the Bitcoin's secure and stable and resilient blockchain by using the proof of transfer mechanism instead of the proof of work mechanism which Bitcoin itself uses. They also take advantage of microblocks and Clarity for the smart contracts. So they designed it so that the builders can benefit from Bitcoin's properties without modifying the Bitcoin itself and losing all the Bitcoin's benefits. So here is the proof of transfer explained briefly. Well, proof of transfer is a mining mechanism that provides a new take on consensus, allowing for a proof of work chain, in this case Bitcoin, to be leveraged and extended in important new ways. All STX transactions settle on Bitcoin, and this enables STX transactions to benefit from Bitcoin security. Every Bitcoin block, STX transactions are batched and hashed on the Bitcoin blockchain. So basically they are selling it as an upgrade to proof of work, because with this proof of transfer, the miners are not converting electricity and computing power to earn block rewards and transaction fees, and instead they are transferring Bitcoin to a proof of work currency to holders of STX token. So this is how you can make Bitcoin from holding STX tokens. We will look at this in a minute. They call this process stacking. So the benefits of proof of transfer are the security and settlement of Bitcoin, the ability to interact with Bitcoin on-chain data and state, and also that anyone can mine with no special hardware required as you need for mining Bitcoin or ETH for that matter. And there is a more thorough explanation of the STX blockchain, that is basically a layer on top of Bitcoin, as they said before, and the proof of transfer connects to Bitcoin with a 1-to-1 block ratio, but compared to Bitcoin it enables smart contracts, digital assets and decentralized apps that connect back to the Bitcoin blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain itself cannot really benefit from those things because the block time is too slow to support decentralized apps, so they use those microblocks to work around this limitation, which results, as they claim, to be a near instant confirmation, which ensures that the STX transactions are fast enough for decentralized apps while still benefiting from Bitcoin security and settlement. So the STX token, STX, is the native asset on the STX blockchain used as a fuel for the transactions, and all transactions from executing Clarity contracts to creating digital assets are paid for in STX. So the key points to take away: that anything that happens on STX blockchain settles on Bitcoin blockchain. STX is a flexible layer on top of Bitcoin that enables smart contracts and digital assets and decentralized apps, which the Bitcoin blockchain otherwise cannot. And this enables the STX blockchain to scale independently of Bitcoin. Finally, taking a look at the Clarity smart contracts, we can see that it should reduce the surface area for all kinds of bugs or dangerous codes and makes it easy to see what the code will do before actually running it. Clarity also enables familiar Web 2.0 user experience, so that's great for all those non-technical users. And as they mentioned, you can try the code before running it, and if there are some errors, it will abort and not execute. So in a nutshell, it's one programming language without any compilers or assemblies or bytecode. The source code is interpreted on the chain. Also, you will know with certainty that what the code will do before running it. So it's secure and reliable, can be programmed with Bitcoin-based logic, and it enables a more reliable and familiar user experience. So if we go back to the home page and scroll down to earning Bitcoin by stacking, we can take a look a bit closer how it works. So here you can see where the next cycle starts, when the registrations close, and the estimated minimum of STX. STX you need for full reward slot. But what it actually is and how it works, so it's a critical part of the STX network and it helps stacks reach consensus, stay secure and process transactions. So it's the part of the proof of transfer mechanism. You can earn rewards when you stack, so you can earn Bitcoin every cycle. One cycle is a collection of Bitcoin blocks, so I think it's every 16 days or so, and how much you will earn can vary from cycle to cycle depending on how much Bitcoin miners transfer and how much STX participates. But the great thing is that you don't have to run a node or validate transactions to stack. All you need to do is lock your STX in your wallet temporarily to participate. So here are overviews of what wallets can be used. You can download them right from here, very easy, or you can use a service which they recommend here. And as they mentioned, it works within the reward cycle, so yeah, approximately every 16 days depending on the block time, which is around 2000 Bitcoin blocks. And after this, each stacker has the chance to receive a Bitcoin. So every reward cycle is preceded by a prepare phase of 100 Bitcoin blocks. So this is when the miners gather the Bitcoin addresses eligible for rewards in the coming cycle. So if you want to participate, you have to start stacking before the start of this prepare phase. So depending on how much STX you have, you can hold one or more reward slots for a given cycle. But if you don't meet the minimum requirements, don't worry, because you can still earn rewards by delegating or pooling your STX. So something similar as the Uniswap I talked in 2 videos before. And here is when you can actually get the STX token itself. I personally would recommend Binance, but you may have a good experience with any other of those. So feel free to share those experiences with others in the comment section down below. And finally, back to the home page, we can look briefly at the start building link. So here it's more for the developers, but it's really well made. You can start to learn how it works on the more deeper level. So we can look at the introduction to the stacking itself. And here you have the docs section, so very thorough explanations here for the developers. You can read, and then you have some other links which directed you to even more detailed description and much more. So with this we can take a brief look at the token itself. So now it sits about 86th place by the market cap of about 650 million US dollars. So pretty small market cap actually. Oh, today is still pretty expensive gas, 332. But anyway, let's now look at the charts finally. Let's look at the price. And again, you can see I made some channels for you. One which we can say it started in from the May 2020, so it's now almost a year. And then in November, when the bull run really kicked in, it shifted to this new channel, which is much more steeper. So we can say it's still on this kind of a bull run. At the moment, it's right in the middle of this channel. So really, there are moves possible to either up or down. If we look at the width of the channel, it's about 50% drop or an 130% upside. So that's pretty solid channel, which comes with a lot of volatility, as you can see in the past few months. November, January, we have quite large peaks. And if we look how it was performing from the lows in November, now at the moment it's up about 400%. So it actually didn't hit those 1000% like many other tokens did. So I think this is more of a healthy bull run, much more sustainable. So as long as it stays in this bullish channel, I think that there could be some nice upside in the few coming weeks or months. And finally, if we look at the ratio of stacks divided by Bitcoin, we can actually see that it's been pretty steady during the past year in regards to Bitcoin, which to be honest should make kind of a sense because it's very closely interlaced with Bitcoin blockchain. There is that 1-to-1 ratio because there is that 1-to-1 proof of transfer connect ratio to Bitcoin. So apart from those occasional spikes as we've seen in the November or January, it's quite steadily staying in this area, which pretty much means it will do similar moves to Bitcoin, which you can use to your advantage. So that's it from me for this video. I hope you get some real value out of this. If so, please make sure to smash the like button and also subscribe for the future cryptocurrency content to come. And I thank you for watching. Cheers!